So I just want to do a quick video about the Twsbi Diamond 580 and specifically if this pen is worth the money. I recently did a video about the Twsbi Eco and I said with a resounding yes that this $30 fountain pen was definitely worth the money. Just a great deal. You're getting a lot of value for the product and it's a really solid pen despite the relatively reasonable entry point. Now I have the Twsbi Diamond 580, which is sort of like a higher end version of the Eco, or I guess more specifically, the Eco is a more affordable version of the Diamond 580. So this pen sells for about maybe $50, $55, give or take. It's mostly, plastic or acrylic, some metal parts, has some upgraded parts like this top piece, the finial. It has a wider band here, which is like, some upgraded hardware. This piece here, the nib, the feed, and the section, that's essentially one piece. It can all be unscrewed. So instead of buying a new pen for $55 or so, you could replace this nib, feed, and section for about $30. And that way you could save some money if you want to try a different nib size. Past that, and some minor points like this faceting here, you can see these sides are faceted. Past a few minor things like that, the 580 and the Eco are essentially the same pen. The nib on the Eco is a smaller size, it's a size 5, I believe. The nib on the 580 is a larger nib, a 6, but they write really similarly. So this one obviously is larger and more flashy, but the end result is very similar between the 5 and the 6. And then like the really important parts like ink capacity and the piston unit that moves that piston up and down and pulls ink in and shoots it out of the pen, those are essentially the same. This one aesthetically, the 580 aesthetically, I think is a little nicer than the Eco because this one you see has a flat, boring cylinder. Here it's slightly tapered, I think. I haven't actually measured. It looks a little fatter in the center, but it is faceted and you could see those facets here, so it's cool to hold. The nib, sorry, not the nib, the cap is a little cooler looking on the 580, but not like hugely different. The 580 does have some little quirks too. Like I found that my clip kind of wiggles back and forth that I find to be rather annoying. And you see this big band here, but it has that really big Twsbi logo and the Diamond 580 and Taiwan there. I think this pen would be a whole lot nicer with nothing on it, just a really clean band here, but that's just my preference. And then the cap on this, it could sort of post, but it posts very, very high up, and it posts on the mechanism that twists to open and close the piston. So if you accidentally twist it, you might let some ink out or some air in, which is really not great. So basically you shouldn't post this pen, which is somewhat annoying. Personally, I don't find it annoying because I don't do that, but I know some people find it annoying. So in summary, is the Twsbi Diamond 580 worth the money? Personally, for me, I'm going to say no. While I do think this is a very good pen for $50 or $55, and there's a lot of value here, it isn't enough of a value jump over the Eco for me to justify the money. And here's a good example of that. I could replace this nib, feed, and section on this pen, take this one off, and put a new one on and move this from a broad to a fine or whatever for $30. For $30, I'll just buy an entire new Eco, and I'm good with that. That's just me, but maybe you have a different preference. I will say that for the $50, you're getting a pen that's as nice as some $100 pens. But for my preference, for my money, I'd rather have a $30 pen that you're getting the value of like a, I don't know, $60 or $70 pen. So that's it. I like the Eco, I like the Diamond 580. I just don't think you're getting like an insane level of value here. It's a good value, but it can't beat the Eco. So I'll go with the Eco every time, except for the one time I bought the 580, I guess. Now, just because I feel like no pen video is complete without some writing, I'll do some writing. But if you've seen these guys write, then feel free to just turn the video off. So just for comparison purposes, this is the Twsbi Diamond 580 and a broad. This is with the Diamond, whatever, Regency blue ink. It's a nice blue-black. You can see this is the broad, but it's nice and wet. My handwriting is clearly terrible, but also on paper that lifts tends to exacerbate the situation. This is the Sailor Krishna's, or the Krishna Sailor, whichever, that I really like. And this is the Twsbi Eco broad. And neither of these pens have been used for at least 2 or 3 days. So you can see they both wrote really well out of nowhere, which is a nice sign. So you can see the end result of actually is very, very similar between the two. I would say the 580 might be a little bit smoother, but not noticeably so. So from a writing perspective, I like the faceting and like the aesthetics of the 580, but if you only care about writing, the Eco is doing pretty much as good of a job. Say like for half the price, you're getting 95% of the performance. So that's it. Thanks for watching.